All right. Coming at you live from Chalfont, Pennsylvania. That's a suburb of Philadelphia. This is episode 6. I'm here today with Julia Muller. How are you?
Hello,
Hello.
everybody.
Trisha,
Yes.
freshly escaped from jail. What's with the search shirt?
Well, at least I have razors. I see some of us are not shaving anymore.
Well, some of us became fathers in the new year, and yeah, so now I'm a dad to baby Sophia.
I'll give you a break.
Woo!
I'll give
My
you a little
Finally,
break.
you've
my big
waited for that.
my
You
biggest
wanted that
fear.
so much.
Well, my biggest fear in life was to have a daughter, and that got realized. So now well, first, what I did is I had a session with her where we were like, promise me that you're not going to date until you're 30 or until after I die, whichever comes first. And then I used one of the stamps from her feet. You know, they stamp their feet at the hospital as her signature. So she may not be aware of it, but she entered into a binding contract with me already. But yeah, so I give up on shaving. But anyway, Happy New Year. We haven't talked in like a year.
2018. Looking forward to it.
January 10th. Crazy times. Crazy times we live in. So yeah, so what's new with everybody? Julia, how was your break?
It was awesome. It was long. That was the best part of it.
For those of you who don't know it, Julia is in Pittsburgh and there's like an Arctic blast going on and she's in a sleeveless shirt. She's channeling Florida.
I have the fan going on, turned on.
Hot flashes.
Hot flashes. Yeah, that's the reality here in Pittsburgh.
I'm representing Clear Eyes, one of our clients. They gave me a t-shirt to wear, so representing it on our what is this, a vlog on our TV show, PML TV.
Our little convo
Yep.
conversations.
Everybody go out and buy Clear Eyes.
Trisha is representing the client's most wanted list.
That's
Yes.
me. Whoop, whoop.
Marketing Jail. Cool. So what do we have this show? So we're going to be talking about a couple things. I know we scheduled some time to complain about our favorite platform changing names here at PML, and then we're going to talk about SMS marketing. So that's what's in store for you in this show. So coming right up is DaPulse changing their name to Monday.
What's DaPulse?
What the heck were they thinking?
What if people don't know what DaPulse is? What is DaPulse?
So DaPulse is a platform that we've been using for about a year here at PML to track projects. It creates Gantt charts and you can create tasks and assign them to people. It's like a project management tool. And from the start, I think we all were like, DaPulse, what the heck is that? Why is it called DaPulse? I think Trisha, you were saying that they didn't even like their own name, right?
They didn't, and they were getting made fun of about it quite a bit. And they were, I think that there's a YouTube video about it that I was watching that somebody was just giving them a bunch of grief about, like, it sounds like a rapper thing. What?
Right.
The Pulse.
The
I don't know what it was.
It's like a record label.
For the record, I never had a problem with DaPulse. I actually liked that name. It was so techy.
In light of the new name, I freaking love DaPulse.
I know, especially in light of the new name.
So let me get this straight. So a bunch of people at DaPulse got together and they're like, you know what? We need to rebrand. This name is not working out for us. Let's come up with some ideas. And
we were just made fun of. We can't have that. Let's do better.
Right. So let's pick a name that people won't mock us about, right? And they came up with Monday.
Monday.
Like
Monday.com.
Monday.
And now it's the ongoing joke.
So
Friday,
now,
I updated Monday for Tuesday.
Right. So I added a task for you on Monday for Tuesday. Like, give me a freaking break here. It can't be any more confusing. I feel like their president was so upset people were mocking his name. He was like, the joke is on you. I'm going to ruin your conversations now. I'm going to change my name to Monday.
Oh, that was payback. That's what it is.
Yep. So the joke is on us.
It says that it's a broader commitment to spark a dialogue on how to improve working together as humans is the description of Monday.com.
Let me tell you how that goes down. That we get so confused talking about adding tasks on various days of the week to Monday, the platform, that will be so confused that will force us to elevate our conversations and have better ones.
I'm going to add something to Monday, and then I'm going to go shopping at Tuesday morning.
Yes.
Something.
On Wednesday.
Tuesday morning is a store, and then go out for drinks at Ruby Tuesdays.
Yeah.
Then TGI Fridays on the weekend. Great. So maybe they hired the same agencies to come up with their names.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm not a fan.
Yeah, me neither. I don't think it's working for the majority of the team. It just makes it so confusing, especially when, we're saying, I added the task for you on Monday, and they're like, no, the task wasn't added on Monday. It's like, no, Monday the platform, not Monday the date designation. So it's, especially when you deal with projects, because they're very time bound, right? So everything we do is related to a certain day of the week or a certain date. So
how is that going to affect them online?
I don't know. Did they change their URL? Did they buy Monday.com? Did they really?
Well, it's redirecting to Monday, right? Now our DaPulse bookmarks.
Yeah, so they bought Monday.com. I bet you here's what happened, because Monday.com was probably a very expensive domain. They probably bought it and they were like, let's just name our company that, because it's a very, expensive, unique domain to just own Monday.com. That's pretty cool. That's probably what happened. But there's a lot of companies that make these mistakes. I'm sure we can all think of examples of when someone either bought a domain or named a company a certain way, and then they regretted it afterwards.
You mean expertsexchange.com? Have you heard that?
Expertsexchange.com?
Yeah, you merge it together. Yeah.
Can you believe that one?
There's a lot of domains, like seriously, like things that people can take away from this discussion is when you're naming your company, make sure that the name, first of all, in the context of dialogue around your company fits properly. And then second, when you go to buy a domain, because oftentimes the domain is not exactly the name of your company, because there are many, it's very hard to get a domain that is specifically what your company name is. But make sure that when it's written in lowercase attached together, it doesn't read something else, or it doesn't appear to read as something unintended.
Like sex change.
Like a sex change, yeah. And then the other thing I find oftentimes is company names that mean something else in a different language.
So am I allowed to bring up a company that I worked for in the past that they acquired 4 companies, and they turned themselves into their talent management, and they do like sales assessments, and they changed their name to Growth Play. And I think that's the silliest name. It doesn't, I mean, growth is obviously what they do, but why Growth Play?
Yeah.
It doesn't resonate. It doesn't make sense with the audience. I think that, when you make a change like this,
that happened a couple of years ago, right? I read about it.
Yeah.
They should consider DaPulse now that it's available.
That's true. But I think when that company changed their name to Growth Play, I think at the time gamification and playing, and there was this whole movement that was the buzzword at the time. I think a lot of people went in that direction. So that could be why they were inspired to stick the word play. Just like when the iPhone first came out, it was like I this and I that. And I know we were working on a domain which I continue to own, gluten free. It was a recipe domain, and we went with I gluten free, which at the time was like the hot thing to name your stuff, is I something. Yeah,
I get it.
You get it.
Makes sense. I mean, if you want to stay in business longer than the trends, then yeah, but sometimes you want to jump on a trend to capitalize on something new, and then it may backfire.
Words of wisdom. We're all going to write that down, Julia. That's so true. So yeah, so the other topic, so that's interesting. So hopefully by hearing this debate, you know to pick a better name for your company moving forward. Maybe in a future episode we can talk about what Philly Marketing Lab's next company name should be. Okay, so the other topic we wanted to engage on was SMS marketing. We've been delaying this for a couple times now, for a couple episodes. We've been wanting to talk about SMS or text message marketing. SMS stands for short message service. And that's an area that has a lot of growth. It is related to a lot of campaigns that we're seeing lately. And I know, Julia, you did some research on that. So what can you tell us about SMS marketing?
Well, first of all, what it is, it's essentially a way to market or notify your consumer, your prospect, of a promotion via an opt-in text message. That's all it is. But there are some things that are super exciting about it. First of all, it's very affordable now. It's in its infancy. It's at, a cent a message or so it can be. Secondly, it's through the APIs, there's a way to bulk handle that.
Yep.
Through Salesforce, through third-party providers like Twilio and such. And then thirdly, the thing that I'm mostly excited about, text message extensions, or we call them text extensions, to paid search ads.
I should have known that you're going to loop it back to AdWords.
I
Self-serving answer.
I do. I mean, there are moments during the consumer purchasing journey towards a purchase, right? A consumer journey towards in research or towards a purchase, when email or filling out some sort of a form on a website, or even navigating to a company website is not an option. They need something now.
Right.
And that's when the text message extension becomes super duper helpful.
That's great. Yeah. So text messaging through an ad that you find on Google. So you're on your cell phone, you search for HVAC service, you see an ad, being able to text that provider and say, hey, do you guys have someone that can come out in the next 2 hours? You just want that quick question answered before you engage further with them. You're just trying to make sure to qualify them. That can be a very helpful use case. But just to take a step back, SMS messaging and SMS marketing in general, the functionality is from a campaign perspective. You oftentimes see text this word to this 5-digit number to receive a coupon, or to receive directions, or an entry into a raffle or a giveaway or something like that.
A lot of times on a restaurant table, you'll see the table tents, or if you go into the bathroom, it'll say, wash your hands.
And then text.
And then text this, and then you'll go enjoy your food.
Right.
There's
a lot of applications. You can get in line to enter or get a seat at a bar or a restaurant that way. There's a lot of applications. But when we research, and we haven't run many campaigns in that ecosystem, but we're excited to be exploring it. There are two facets to this. There's the campaign itself, which happens as phase 2, and then phase 1 is the the actual building of the list. So there's campaign, and then there's the list building, essentially. So the list building phase is text this number to be added to the list. So there's the ice cream place near me here. What is it called? Rita's frozen ice. So you go to Rita's, and they have different flavors every time you go. They don't have a set list. Well, they have a core list of flavors, but they have seasonal flavors that they add. So if you like a certain flavor, you tell them, like, I'm into raspberry flavor. They can put you in their list, and they will text you when the day that raspberry is available on their menu, so you can go and have it.
Nice.
So that's the cool thing. So it could be text Rita Raspberry to 90210, and you would be added to the Raspberry, and then you would get a confirmation saying you are opting into receiving text messages from this vendor. Text yes to reply with yes to proceed. You hit yes, so you're into the opt-in for that list. So that's being in the list. And then there's on the other side when you start running campaigns. So when readers have Raspberry, they say, okay, let's blast everybody that's in our Raspberry campaign to let them know that Raspberry is available, and they blast it out. So that's a very small use case, and a lot of the companies that are running it, like Domino's and Pizza Hut and different shopping stores, Kiehl's, I know, the beauty product like lotions and whatnot. Kiehl's ran a campaign like that where they were giving out coupons for opt-ins. So that's they make out well with it. And the advantage of that compared to email is the open rate, right? So you send out an email, it gets 20% open rate of that, and we'll be happy. Yeah, at best. What's the open rate on text messaging? Do you guys know?
It's got to be close to 100%.
Yeah, it's like 80 to 90%.
But you don't know for sure because that can't be released from like Verizon and AT&T. But they say that
industry,
it's very high.
Industry averages. Yeah.
Think about the messages you haven't opened. Have you?
I don't have any messages that I haven't opened on my phone.
Me neither. I do not have text messages. Even, I used to live in New York, and I still get New York City nightclub messages. I opted in maybe 10 years ago. I'm thinking 8 years ago. I don't know. I still get them. I still even open those. You cannot leave a text message open.
Tell us more. What kind of nightclubs are those?
Sorry, no, I did get one this morning. I was like, oh.
I read an article about in Europe that they're actually using vending machines and text messaging. So if you want to pick your favorite sweet treat, you have they send you a message and you pick your favorite sweet treat, and that's how it comes down. That's how it comes out of the vending machine.
So you're texting the vending machine?
Yeah.
How do you pay for it?
I didn't say anything about how it's purchased, but that's a way to get them to opt in. Is what it was an interesting, odd article, but different.
Yeah, we were talking about open rates of text messages, and so we're touching into the KPIs and the metrics that people track. So I did a little bit of research on that. So on the list building, on the opt-in side of things, you can track opt-in sources because the words that you use are essentially the segments or the lists, right? So if you text and you register those keywords, so if you text I don't know, iPhone to a certain number, you're put into the iPhone, and you get text Android, you can put into the Android list. You can text discount to a certain number, and you know that you're in the discount, or
text Mondaycom, Monday.
Or text Monday if you want them to change their name. But so the opt-in source is one of the metrics, is you want to know because you assign certain campaigns to certain sources, right? So through a radio promotion, you can use a certain word, but through online banners or on a billboard or something like that, you can use something else. So you can see what sources are working for you and which ones aren't. And then when you do that, it's segmented at its core. You can start tracking open rates. You can start tracking opt-ins, the number of opt-ins. You can do list growth, opt-out rate, how many people are opting out of it, because if you text stop to any of those numbers, they take you off the list. So you can start seeing that. So that's at the opt-in side of things. Now on the campaign side of things, you can see redemption rates, right? So the example with Rita's, they can see how many people came and purchased the raspberry flavor that day, and can start tying it back into that. You can also text a URL, so you can track click-through rate, right? So we may not be able to see how many people open the text message. We can't see open rate because that's not communicated through the text message app, but we can see click-through rate, and that can give you an indication. And then the interesting one is a 24-hour trailing opt-out rate. So for the 24-hour period after the message goes out, how many people opted out, because you can tie it back to that last message. So it's pretty trackable. It's pretty interesting. Yeah.
I do it. I'm a fan.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
Julia, have you read about any campaigns or any creative ways brands have used this?
Well, I think the one creative aspect of it, and it's not what I read, but it's sort of kind of that what I surmised from my research, is the way to pre-populate a message. So when a consumer, say, is not familiar with your brand or not familiar with support that they might get through text messaging, they're like, I don't know, who am I? Am I text
Texting
messaging the
human?
CEO of the company? I don't know what's going on here, right? But they are wanting to engage. You pre-populate for them, and you say it is the HVAC company. You say, would you like to schedule an appointment within next however long? I don't know, and then they will be like, oh, okay, so they're funneling me through a schedule. Let me reply. So it's a way to further engage, and that is the exciting part of it.
Gotcha. And that would be through the AdWords example you gave earlier?
That's the AdWords, yes.
Okay. All right, cool. Yeah, I was looking for case studies and I came across a bunch of companies that claim that they have geofencing. So, which is a really interesting concept. But the more I researched it, it came out to be more like segmentation rather than geofencing. But there is a way Pizza Hut did geofencing the right way, which is in conjunction with their application on people's phones. So the application on the phone can send your location, your physical location. Like Pizza Hut has an application that you can order delivery from.
Yeah, a very good one too.
Yeah, it is pretty good. So what that application does, if you opt into it, it will let Pizza Hut know where you are physically. It will communicate your location, latitude and longitude. And what they do is they have a geo-fenced text messaging campaign. So when the app detects that you're within a mile from their store, they can trigger a text message that comes to your phone that says, hey, did you know the Pizza Hut on this and this intersection is doing buy one, get one free today? And then that will trigger you to say, oh, that's down the street. I'm more likely to make that purchase. And I thought that was very, very clever, but only a company that has an application, the application has to be installed on the person's device, and then they can trigger you that way. But from a geo-targeting perspective, it's really interesting. I mean, imagine walking into a shopping mall and the stores in that mall kind of competing over your business by sending you a text message of their promotions and things. That was pretty cool.
Most
pretty
definitely.
creepy.
You know what? This is very close to the beacon.
Yes.
Beacon marketing.
Yep.
I think they called it close range marketing, CRM. It used to be confusing, the abbreviations, close range marketing. So when the beacon sensed that you're within a certain geographic location from it, and Facebook has them, and now Google also has them, I believe. They only started like a few months ago delivering those. So it would send you a message, which is not a push notification message, I believe. I think it's an opt-in where you get a message, you're near us, and there's a promotion we're running you might be interested in.
Yeah. No, Google is definitely using them. So I'm in a program with Google for local guides where you post pictures and reviews and things like that of places you are. And oftentimes, I was at Costco this past weekend. The moment I got into Costco, my phone vibrated and I look at it and it's Google Maps saying, are you at Costco at this address? And you could click yes or no. And when I clicked yes, it says, well, there's an opportunity for you to upload pictures. People are looking for pictures for that particular location. So I thought that was really clever, invasive, and, my privacy and all that jazz. But, we're marketers, we're in bed.
But you've enabled permissions for Google to know where you are. So
sure,
it's kind of an opt-in.
It is an opt-in. It is an opt-in, and sometimes it's sneaky. You opt in without really knowing you're opting in, but there are ways to turn them off if you choose to. But it's good. It's kind of like Foursquare. Like, I think about it, and Foursquare was so ahead of its time where we weren't ready for it yet. But that was the whole concept with Foursquare and location-based marketing.
Do they still exist?
I think Foursquare is still on. I don't know who bought them. Somebody bought them.
Monday.
They bought them on Tuesday.
Monday anymore.
They celebrated their merger at Ruby Tuesday.
You know what's going? on Friday. They went to TGI Fridays on Tuesdays to celebrate Monday's name brand change.
I will not bring up Monday anymore.
Oh
You
yeah,
know what's going to happen?
we pretty much exhausted that.
One of their team members is going to watch this episode and they're going to suspend our account and like we're going to lose all our data in there.
Yep. Great.
Yeah, they're gonna get back at us. They're gonna make a.
I'm going to jail.
You're going back to jail.
You're going back to jail.
Oh,
Awesome,
my
guys. Well,
goodness.
this was a great episode, ladies. Thank you for joining me. And if you're watching the show, don't forget to subscribe, comment, let us know what you want us to talk about in the next episodes. And yeah, we look forward to hearing from you. And until next time, thank
Give
you.
us some thumbs
Bye.
up.
Thumbs up. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.